Hi students, very good evening. Hope you are all doing well, and I hope you are listening to the lectures also. And this is the last unit that I am taking up, and after this we will have revisionary classes. By that time you have to prepare, read, and then you will be able to ask questions for interactions so that we can have revision classes. Okay, if the time permits. So actually, yesterday's class, I have discussed the features of neoclassical poetry and a few lines of introduction to the poet also. So in today's class, I will continue the introduction of the poet, which we have stopped in between. So we have seen how a pope coming from a Catholic family was denied university education because in those days Catholics were not allowed to enter into the universities because of the religious discrimination that went on in England during his time. And then because they have shifted from London to Twickenham to some other place, he got a good company of friends who are also writers, etc. So thus he came, and also because of his ill health, okay, from his childhood, he focused more on his studies, unlike the other children who, of course, have the normal childhood, can play and enjoy with friends, etc. That normal childhood was not not in the purview of Pope, and so he has to confine himself to his house. And then in this confinement, he made the best use of his time by reading many Greek, Latin, Italian books, okay, and then French also. And that is the exposure that he has. He wrote from the early age of say 12 itself, and pastorals, the poems which he wrote, and they were included in poems miscellany that were published in 1711 itself. And the editor was very much impressed by the Pope's work. So after that, Edison and Steele, who were the collaborators in maintaining the journal The Spectator, of course, have invited Pope, and the Pope also was very much motivated by their aim behind publishing that journal, that is to what you call educate the people through wit and satire, etc. So he also contributed one article like Messiah and some other articles. And then he was his motivation to write Rape of the Lock, of course, could be seen in his association with Joseph Edison and Steele, and in his writing to this journal, which was aiming to reform the subjects. That means the people. Okay. Um, so we will come to the Rape of the Lock when we discuss the poem, but because the poem is prescribed for our study, we need not look into those aspects which are from the Rape of the Lock. So Pope had also been at work for several years in Windsor Forest, and there he completed and published in 1703 a poem, as Virgil had done, from the pastoral vein to the Georgiac, and celebrated the rule of Queen Anne, as the Latin poet had celebrated the rule of Augustus. He wrote celebrating the rule of Queen Anne during 1730. In another early poem, Elosia to Abelard, Pope borrowed the form of Ovid's heroic epistle, and in which showed imaginative skill in conveying the struggle between sexual passion and dedication to a life of celibacy. Of course, the notable works of Pope are like this: the Dunciad, the Essay on Criticism, Rape of the Lock, an Essay on Man, an epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot, the New Dunciad, Memoirs of Martinus Scribler, Windsor Forest, Elosia to Abelard, Epistle to the Right Honorable Richard Earl of Burlington, etc. And further, his work, his translation of Homer and then Dunciad, of course, has invited much popularity for Pope. So you need not go into all these details. Uh, Pope, who is the master of heroic couplet, of course, was an influential figure also. Many writers, were influenced with Pope's style of writing. So Pope's favorite meter is the heroic couplet, that is 10 syllable iambic pentameter rhyming couplet, and he handled it with increasing skill and adapted it to such varied purposes as the epigrammatic summary of an essay on criticism, the pathos of verses to the memory of an unfortunate lady, and so many other, Rape of the Lock, etc. Many works were written in this meter, and he was actually, um, you know, motivator behind many writers who actually has followed his uh, path, taking up the heroic couplet. So with these few lines of introduction, I will come to share the text of the poem, and we'll start the text actually. Yeah. This text begins with uh, a brief introduction to the lady to whom he was writing actually. Rape of the Lock is a story that took birth in the quarrel that took place in two families in his neighborhood. And Thomas Carlyle, who is a common friend to both the families and also Alexander Pope, actually motivated Pope to write something after reading which those two families can become friendly again. That is how the idea of the Rape of the Lock actually has begun. So, because he was writing to settle down the quarrels between two families, before starting the poem, he addressed to Mrs. Arabella Fermer, who is the lady will be named as Belinda in this poem, that is Rape of the Lock. So he wrote a letter. See how he wrote it, Madam. It will be in vain to deny that I have some regard for this piece, since I dedicate it to you. So this work is dedicated to that lady. Yet you may bear me witness it was intended only to divert a few young ladies who have got sense and good humor enough to laugh not only at their success little unguarded follies, but at their own. But as it was communicated with the air of secret, it soon found its way into the world. Actually, first he published two cantos, and it so happened that two families actually read that, and they said the quarrel was settled. But later, it went into the public and it became kind of, what do you call, ashamed. This lady got ashamed, the way she was, projected, or her story, her personal story goes into the public, etc. So for that reason only, Pope wrote this. The Rape of the Lock is nothing but cutting the a lock of hair, okay, of a lady by one young man. This is termed as the Rape of the Lock. So you'll be wondering what is this Rape of the Lock, etc. Lock is here the hair only. So one plate of the hair of a lady is cut by one young man. So unnaturally, cutting hair is very ashamed. Okay, so there was a fight between the two families, and this is projected in the text by Pope with so much of mythological references referring to the quarrel between gods, okay, etc., etc. Okay, so here we have this Arabella Fermer, to whom um, he wanted to apologize because the poem was into public, and she took offense because of that. Okay. Oh, we need an read that letter. If you want, you can read later. I will share you this PPT. Yeah, of course, as we don't have any text with you, I did not share the text with you, so I will share the text and then we can start the explanation of the text. This is today's class. I will just give you uh, the introduction only, few lines of introduction. This is a poem written in 5 cantos, and the name itself is the Rape of the Lock. It is popularly considered as a mock epic. Okay, epic we have seen in Milton's Paradise Lost. Now you know. I hope you have understood what is an epic poem. An epic is a long narrative with universal or serious themes, and of course with the divine interventions, okay, epic similes and a proposition, and invocations, etc. But now this Rape of the Lock is a mock epic, like a parody of an epic style. So epic is style is taken, and it is written in heroic couplet, which is the what you call, the form for writing epic poems. Actually, the style of writing for epic poems. So Pope took the same thing, but this is a trivial incidence of cutting the lock of hair of a woman by a young man. So a very insignificant incident is taken, and it is treated in an epic style. So that is why it is called as um, mock epic. Okay, and the other thing that you can see in this poem is a satire. So he wanted to write a satire about the rich young ladies and also young men who are not bothered about the country or the society in which they live, and the contemporary situations that were prevailing around them, etc. But they always revel in sleeping, eating, making parties, and then, of course, women decorating themselves. That is makeup. Makeup is not an issue of only these days. In Pope's days also we have this issue of makeup, and we have the a very what you call witty and also powerful satirical, ironical description of Belinda's toilet, in a sense, dressing table. Okay, dressing table which Pope provides, and of course that is very satirical. And when they sleep, when they woke up, etc. He says that beautiful ladies at just 12 they wake up. Okay, then in that line we will come across in the poem at just 12, saying that 12 noon is the time for the beautiful rich ladies to wake up from their bed, and immediately after waking up what they do is just attend the nature calls, and then uh, sitting in front of the mirror of the dressing table to dress themselves, to decorate themselves, etc. So this is one important point of analysis is mock epic. Rape of the Lock is a mock epic. And then Rape of the Lock is a satire of the values, traditions, etc., and the social life, religious life, and luxurious life, okay, of the people, the high class people, etc. And also the vanity of women, okay, that is also is very much criticized. Another important point of analysis for the Rape of the Lock is it is also considered as a realistic, okay, um, poem. How realism is shown, say how he describes the parties of the youngsters and young men, okay, just reveling their time, just passing on their time, and how even great politicians also will spend their time, etc. And then how men and women quarrel on the small issue of the cutting of the hair, etc. And then immorality that is prevailing in the neoclassic society, okay, that was also reflected in um, this poem, that is Rape of the Lock. And one more point of analysis actually is what you call the message or didactic, okay. um, while criticizing, we can understand that Pope is what you call trying to give a very good message for the men and women of his days, so who revel in the what you call personal insignificant issues. And so while criticizing, it gives a hard message that there is a need to reform, okay, reform their lives as well as reform the society also, okay. Of course it is actually considered as the masterpiece of Pope Alexander Pope, though he has written many other works. This is the book or the epic, mock epic, that is prescribed in many universities and studied also. Much research also has been into that. You can, of course, Google and you will find so many articles, research articles regarding Pope's Rape of the Lock and his characterization, and how wit and humor and is also um, a point of analysis. And one more thing is the intervention of the supernatural, okay. The supernatural elements, unlike the supernatural elements of monstrous size like fallen angels or the description of heaven, etc., here in Rape of the Lock we'll find the machinery, the supernatural machinery of invisible characters, like dwarf size, etc., which of course are doing the work of safeguarding the chaste ladies. Okay, chaste means a lady who is not nurturing any ideas of a man in her heart. So the chastity is, of course, I'm, the chastity in those days, actually the chastity of a woman is very much stressed upon, but whether they are really chaste or not, it's a different story. Through the satire and criticism, of course, he tries to reveal that to us, whether the women are being chaste or not, and how they are behaving in the, even though they are religious, they are religious, yet they are not up to the mark in their moral attitudes, etc. So when we see the character of Belinda, okay, who is none other than the Arabella Fermer of in his real life, that is a neighborhood, a lady in his neighborhood. And also we can find the characterization of these characters, the lady, Belinda, and then the young man, okay, etc. How their characters are portrayed by or sketched by Pope is also very much important. Okay, so a very beautiful lady, yet we could see that she is not having great wits, okay, and not having any purpose in her life, the way she spends her life, etc. The and how the supernatural beings take care of her, and without being chased, how she nurtures the ideas of, um, men in her heart, because she keeps receiving many love letters, etc. um, and one more thing is how the time span of this poem of Milton, of course, the time span is for, say, many years or ages, we can say. But here it is only for few hours. Okay, a few hours, we can see that in the Rape of the Lock, and the poet narrates, okay, this the story of the Belinda and the young man. Okay, how they play. Yeah, one more thing is they playing game of cards. Game of cards, you all know, that is Pakata, nothing but this game of card, Rummy. Nowadays, people are playing online rather than offline. So, this is also not a new thing. In that society, also, that was there. And how people indulge in playing this game of cards, okay? And they love to defeat their counterparts, etc. And Belinda also plays. So there itself he shows that the position of women, okay, the position of women in the neoclassical society, especially the rich ladies, okay. And these are some of the points of analysis which, of course, we'll be analyzing while going through the text, and also a detailed analysis of the text from different aspects will follow after I finish the literal analysis of the text. So before I conclude, I request you all to keep listening to the lectures, and then try to interact. I have been telling you, but you are not interacting at all. But better you develop this habit of interacting, so that you will learn more. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can at any time call me, and um, interact for your doubts, whatever they are. Otherwise, you can post in the WhatsApp group also. So for today's class, this much only I have to share, because I didn't share you the text. I didn't start the text actually. So I will share the text today, and we will start the analysis of the text from tomorrow's class. Okay. Take care of yourself and your family members also. Have a nice time.